Hey gang, video this week, we're going to look at analyzing butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. I want you to watch some of the good things that Sam Briggs does first. Sam was great at snapping to hollow here, so she flicks the toes, gets tight into the quads, and then hollows out as best she can. See, there's a bit of an angle there, right? I mean, just slightly, but she holds that hollow until she floats high enough and then snaps open the hips and pulls through to finish the portion of getting to the chest of the bar. What I also like about Sam, once she's at the top, she's pulling through by keeping the elbows high and back. A lot of folks tend to get in trouble here when they leave the elbows forward too much and then aren't able to pull through as well as they need to for the next rep. Lastly, you also see then as she's weightless, watch her fingertips here as they slowly shift and she regrips the bar. So her hand is back, and as she's weightless, she begins to shift her hands forward and get a better grip on the bar. You're going to see some similar things here from Alexa as well. So a hard hollow here. That hollow takes her most of the way up. See how aggressively that hollow gets her going? She's not really pulling back yet. If anything, she's pushing down on the bar with her lats. Therefore, that band pull down thing we've been doing to help continue to elevate her. And then once she's high enough, she snaps open the hips, pulls through, elbows pull back. You'll see as well that she also re-grips her hands as she's weightless. So once she re-grips, you'll notice that her wrist there is a little bit bent. That's going to help her keep a stronger grip as she bottoms out for that next rep. We want to be careful that we don't throw our shoulders out of socket at the bottom. We always want to keep tension at the bottom. That bent wrist kind of helps us load the shoulder. As soon as you see some tension hit the lats, right about there, she's now beginning the next portion of sweeping the feet to start the next move. So it's a timing issue. Bottom of swing, lats tight, feet begin to kick, and then begins the next hollow position. Again, as she flicks the feet, quads are tight, that tightness goes up into her core. That core allows her then to pop up nice and high. You can see how high she's floating before opening the hips and then closing it out. Okay, now here's an example of what can go wrong sometimes with missed timing. In this video, Alexa begins to pull too early and gets herself out of position, which then makes her next reps much worse. So she doesn't pull down on the bar enough here, so she's going too vertical and not getting back enough. So she's too vertical here, whereas in the last video she was more here. She begins to pull too early, elbows are left forward there, and the result, look how unbalanced this equation is here. So I like to say that you want to keep your vertical equation balanced. What portion of your weight is where in this vertical line? I want some over here, I want some over here, and I want those to be equal. If I've got too much of my weight over here and only a little over here, then that's going to throw off my cycle time. So she goes in her next swing, she's got way too much forward of that vertical bar, and then now she has to try and correct it, ends up getting too far behind the bar, and then gets all wonky and goes basically straight down. So she shifts all the weight from here to here, and now she shifts all that weight back to here, and now she's, again, in imbalance on that vertical plane. Last thing we'll look at for common errors is leaving the elbows too far forward. So Alexa here has gone to hollow, snapped open, and she's keeping her elbows too far forward, and then she ends up missing the bar as a result. You'll notice that when Briggs is doing these, look that she's popped open, trying to keep the elbows pulled back to pull through. When the elbows are left forward, that results in oftentimes missing the bar. So pay attention to where your elbows are at after you snap your hips open. If your elbows are low, pointed down, that could be an issue and why you keep missing the bar. So finish out by watching Sam do these very efficient butterfly kips. There's a little more knee bend, the gymnastics coach would tell us to use, but this is very CrossFit friendly. She's got a very tight kip. She's not getting too far on either side of the bar. Right, her body's pretty well balanced forward and back. She's always trying to keep things pretty even here. Regrip is solid. At the bottom, a huge arch. Snaps to hollow. That gets her moving. She's pulling down on the bar. And as she opens the hip, then she transitions from pulling down on the bar to pulling back on the bar. So the elbows pull high, and she pulls herself through to load for the next position. You have to pull through the bar so that you can land out here again and begin your next movement. Again, if you're coming down too straight, that's where we see issues. That's it. Have a good week.